Got conversation about death. Got conversation about building nation, about gaining knowledge of self. Not here to deceive ya. We'll make you a believer. Come build a nation with conversation, with prophecy and Atajwe. Conversations between comrades.
And welcome to another episode of Conversations Between Comrades. I'm your host, Brother Prophecy, and that's right, I'm not alone, I'm not by myself, as always, and from now on into infinity, I got my brother with me, my brother in the struggle, the one and only, the only one, Comrade Atajwe. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, Comrade. How you doing?
Man, I'm great, man. I'm great. I'm hoping we can get through a whole show with limited interruptions. I apologize. Last show, man, I cut out. I had things to go, and then my feed just left, and you were there by yourself, but you held it down. You held it down beautifully, brother. And I must commend you on that.
You know, y'all got a busy life out there. So, I mean, you know, when things happen, you have to do what you got to do. You know, I done got off the show myself a couple times, so we understand. We understand.
No doubt, no doubt, man. We got a great show tonight. Got a special guest coming up. Oh man, this brother, and I hope I don't mess up his name. Because I finished talking to him. He was like, "This how you pronounce his name? Don't mess it up." And I don't want to mess it up. His name is Atajwe Jasiri, and his brother is out of Columbus, Mississippi. Now, Columbus, Georgia, and the brother, they're doing him and brother Bo Money, the Minister of Information of the RNA. They're doing some great things out there, and we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about how we can take their program and put it throughout all of New Africa, you know what I'm saying? So we got that coming up in about 10 minutes from now. But man, what's been going on with you, comrade? I know you in them circumstances that's not ideal, but you know what I'm saying? We trying to change that. But how you been doing, comrade?
I'm doing okay, comrade. I've been getting better news the more I communicate with my family. You know, they've been on top of this attorney that they supposed to be grabbing for me. I just hadn't talked to him, so that's good. You know, my daughter was saying something to the nature about as far as how much more time I would probably have to do.
Okay. And
she was, you know, her approach was like, well, don't be, you know, we might can't get you straight out, but they anywhere from 3 to 5 years. I'm like, shit, I ain't got no years at the end of this thing right now. What make you think I'm gonna be upset about 3 or 5 more years? Shit, I just done 25 straight. You think I can't do 3 or 5 more? I do that standing on my head right now. So that was, you know, that was good news for me. And then, you know, other than that, comrade, I just been kind of, I don't know. I guess I would say chilling, but I don't think you said chilling here. No, let me take that back. I've been pissed off around here because they had this cold air blowing since last Friday, man. It's been like we living outside or something in the middle of the night. Where up in these mountains, it get more colder than it. Like if it's 50 degrees in Memphis, hell, it's probably 40 degrees up here or less. You know, so. And they just blowing cold air. It's like snowballs. They're blowing, and so they had everybody wrapped all up around here. And I had to, I said something to the administration. Every day I've been saying something to them, but today I kind of went off about it because, you know, as I told you, you got a lot of older guys in this part where I'm at right now, right? And I said, hey man, look, you're the manager. You need to get these folks on doing something about this air. It's too damn cold in here. He said, well, that feel all right to me. I said, man, you just visiting. We live here. And I don't want to hear that. You just passing through and in and out. You ain't living up in here. You look at all these old men wrapped up with toboggans and coats and jackets and shit on. Motherfuckers got arthritis and everything. Y'all trying to kill us over here. You know, so for some mysterious reason, I guess he doubled back behind me and started asking the old guys, is it cold to you? You know? And they was saying, well, that young man was telling you right. And so they didn't turn the little air off of us. They ain't turned no heat on, but they turned the air off. I mean, they literally were blowing like snowballs on us up in here for the last almost a full week now. Yes, tomorrow will be a full week. So
Damn,
other than
yo.
that, I mean, yeah, I've been wrapped up, man. You can't when it's real cold like that, I can't study, I can't read. I'm just wrapped up in the bed. Don't want to get out the bed because it's too cold. You know, it's just these people, they play all kind of games. They said, well, y'all told us to turn the air on, it was too hot. Y'all act like y'all y'all don't understand. Turn it, make it I guess, I hate to use the word livable, but if they turn the air on, they're gonna turn it extremely cold. If they turn the heat on, they're gonna turn it extremely hot. They don't know how to balance it out. So
Man,
yeah,
that's how you are when you're in the middle of the belly of the beast, in the heart of the belly of the beast. That's why we, ain't gonna be doing everything we can to get you out of there. Probably need to start a petition or some online petition to get you out, like Comrade Abdul got going on. He trying to he trying to get himself out.
Well, I mean, my thing about that is, Comrade, when you got brothers who the reason why they in prison wasn't from being a colonial criminal, but being political prisoners or being activists on the street, then I understand when people can get behind them and rally behind them. But my act wasn't nothing like that shit. I'm a changed man from within the bars, not outside. I didn't come to prison conscious or anything. I was a street thug, gang member, and shooting anything that that threatened me or violated. I mean, and so I just, I try to fight it my way. I guess I take it like Malcolm said. If you got any flaws, put them out there with the people before the enemy put them out there and use it as a weapon against you.
I feel you, Comrade, but it's like you said, you a changed man, and sincerely, I don't think you a brother that actually that needs to be in prison right now. I think you'd be much more beneficial out here building on these streets with the rest of us, because you're a good brother, and like I said, you are definitely not the brother that was sent to prison. And you do great work inside.
I agree with you on that, Comrade. I mean, I know I'm a changed brother, and I'm constantly working changing every day, because change, I don't see completion in that. I want to feel whole, and I don't feel whole. I feel incomplete. But the process of change is a constant battle every day for me. I think that's for everybody. If we're realistic about being who we say we are, and that's revolutionaries and freedom fighters, we're going to be in a constant state of change. And I believe that, I would give more to the outside by being out there. Some people ain't capable of doing the things that probably need to be done. I think I am capable of getting some things accomplished as far as the movement is concerned,
Definitely.
Yeah, that's just my take on it,
Yeah. Want to give a big shout out to Bo Money. How you doing, Comrade? Good to see you checking in. Another good comrade who works hand in hand with our special guest. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's just go and bring the brother on, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna intro it. I'm gonna, to make sure that we ain't just bringing no slaw on this show. That we are bringing real deal people who out there in the struggle, who actively participating in nation building. Ain't talking about it, who actually doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna show you. I'm finna show you what he doing. You know what I'm saying? I guess I should have already had this queued up. But this right here, this is the brother that we're bringing on the show.
Columbus has the reputation of being low income, high crime, but I can tell you, it hasn't always been that way. It was a thriving area, lots of families, a lot of military families, good schools, and there were lots of small businesses. And it changed. The group, the People's Party, wants to bring the area back to where it used to be. So they're inviting you to listen to their plan for community reinvestment. It's this Saturday evening. And joining me this afternoon is Atajwe Jasiri, the group's chairman, and Bomani Shakur, the Minister of Information. Thank you so much for being with us, gentlemen.
Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure to have you. Now, some people claim, I even had a friend who said this to me, that she's afraid to even go to South Columbus, which offended me greatly. When you see South Columbus, you gentlemen see something different, don't you?
Yes,
what do you see?
We see a paradise island, a place that's thriving, a place that's full of culture, a place that has plenty of area for people to buy homes, a place of togetherness. We just have to come together and organize and manage it better, and we'll have a better area on the south side.
Now, do you think that people are ready? Because it's going to take a lot of community bringing together. Are the families ready? What's the attitude of people living down there?
Well, the attitude of the people that the people are looking for a change. The people understand what's going on in their vibe, they understand what's going on in the community, and looking for a change. They're tired of things happening in regards to poverty, miseducation, crime, and things of that nature. So they're looking for a solution for their problems. And when we come to the community, clean the community up, keep the community clean, safe, organized, we pick up trash, talk to people in the community, invite people out community meetings. So we come out for the purpose of elevating the mind and message of the people in terms of better conditions. That's our purpose and goal. Okay, so you feel that they're waiting for someone to organize, someone to lead. I got a picture of your community center. So you tell me about this when you see this. You took this building and you decided to do what?
So we wanted a nice place on the south side where our people can go and have events and be able to come together somewhere where we don't have to be upset about how it looks, where we can have pride in it and we own it. One of our principles is owning, operating, and controlling the community. Mm-hmm. And we want to own real estate and land inside of the community so we're able to offer ourselves an alternative to going outside of the south side to rent or going to other outside institutions where we can have something beautiful right inside of our community.
You guys may be right on time, because I know that Columbus, Georgia, and in particular, the South Side is really a target for people all over the country. They're trying to buy those homes up quickly, get those homes out of the hands of the people who live there. And it's just a fight, I guess, in many parts of the country. Now, I'm going to take a look now. You also sent me some pictures of the areas where you feel like contractors come down. They dump. That stuff, somebody took something apart and they dumped it in one of your areas. What about the mindset of the people as far as getting it cleaned up? Are people willing to not only go after the other people who are throwing trash, but a lot of times we throw trash in our own neighborhood? What's your response to that?
Well, our response for that is go out there and be an example. Clean the community up in front of them so they can see why we clean the community up. Mm-hmm. And letting us sniff the other community that if the community is clean, safe, organized, there'll be better minds, better people. The condition of the community being dirty and having filth in it is a condition of people's mind state. If they feel like the community is not important or significant, they're not going to be doing certain things.
Okay, tell us what's happening this Saturday. It's 6 to 8. Will it be at your community center?
Yes, ma'am.
And what's that address?
And it's 2503 Dawson Street.
Dawson Street.
Yes, ma'am. Columbus, Georgia, 31903.
Okay, so what do you hope people will go away with, and who's invited?
We're inviting everyone, our community leaders, pastors, organizational leaders, community people inside of the community. And we want people to come together and not just talk about problems, but also formulate solutions so that we can actually be an example, like the comrade was saying, so that we can actually show our people how to own, operate, control, and keep it safe, clean, and organized. Mm-hmm. So we started it first by buying a community center, renovating it ourselves, and next we want to have a grocery store.
So you showing them what can happen. Yes, okay, that is this Saturday, 6 to 8 p.m., yes, Dawson Street.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much for being with us, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Had a lot of memories from South Columbus. Yes, I wish you well.
Yes, okay. Appreciate it.
All right, y'all. And like I said, he is our special guest, and I don't see him on here. Hold on, wait a minute. Trying to get the comrade. Comrade, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. They say I'm in the show.
Yeah, but for some reason your video ain't showing up. I see. Hold on, let me try something. Oh, there you go. All right, welcome to the show, Atajwe Jasiri. Did I do that right?
Yes, sir. Comrade, how you doing?
Man, I'm great. I'm great, comrade. First of all, man, welcome to the show. Conversation between comrades and everybody out there who listening. Make sure y'all drop a like, say hello so we can converse with you and converse with our special guests. Make them feel home. But like I said, we have one of the most politically aware audience in the land. But first off, tell everybody who you are, man. What you represent, what you do.
Okay, I'm Brother Atajwe. I'm a community organizer, so I'm just in the community organizing. We organize on different levels. We want to help keep the community safe, clean, and organized. We want to own, operate, and control the community. So we come together and we created an organization. And the name of our organization is the People's Party for Independence. And in doing that, we've been making great strides. We've been making great strides at freeing the land, you know, and doing what we need to do for ourselves. So, you know, that's just me in a nutshell.
Dig that. So, what's the name of your organization again? The People's Party for Independence.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hey, do you got like the show going on in the background? Cause I'm hearing like an echo.
I can't see him, comrade.
So
Let
what?
me see.
I can't see him. He got a black screen.
Oh, he on there. It was black.
There he is. I see him now.
Okay.
Pretty glad to see you, brother.
By any means necessary, brother, how you doing?
I'm all right. Glad to
Yes,
see you.
sir.
Glad to see you on the show with us.
Thank you, brother. Am I still echoing? I'm in my garage. I can get my
It sounds like you in the garage. I can hear the echo. It ain't bad though, comrade. It ain't bad, bro.
Yeah, we can understand you.
Let me see. Let me move around. Hold on.
Yeah, y'all know we live and anything happen while we live. Cause we had one episode when comrade actually right next door, it was a brother getting stabbed in real time while we was on the air. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have some crazy things go down. So y'all know what to expect. Technical difficulties. Shoot, last week I had to run, had like a little family emergency and dropped off, and comrade had to do the show by himself. So, you know. I think he froze up on us.
Yeah, he froze on our end.
Yeah, he froze. We'll wait till the comrade get back. Oh, okay. Yeah. But anyway, man, the brother is really about community development. Oh, there you go, right there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's better. You sound a lot better now.
Okay.
Yeah, you in there now.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. So you were telling us about tell us about your organization.
Okay, so we're the People's Party for Independence, and we was created in 2015, and we're a community political organization, grassroots political organization. We believe in keeping the community safe, clean, and organized by owning, operating, and controlling the community through the 5 principles of Deep C, and that's defense, economics, education, politics, and culture. We believe if we can control these 5 principles, we'll have some type of leeway to be able to, govern ourselves. And in governing ourselves, we think that if we can own 5 institutions inside of our community, this would give us a little bit more mobility. And that is a school, a hospital, a bank, a grocery store, and a community center. So what we did was we started organizing in different communities inside of Columbus, Georgia, and we gathered a lot of information, continued to study, and then we purchased a community center. And like Emil Cabral said, instead of us just going into random communities, we wanted to start liberating certain zones. And so we planted ourselves in the community, and we're going to next get a grocery store and start to implement those institutions in the community and see if that program can kind of work all together.
Big day. So, all right, y'all purchased a community center. So, how did y'all kind of immerse yourself within the community? I mean, did y'all just say, okay, we're going to get a community center and just let it do what it do? Or did y'all interact with the people or deal with the people on a concrete level?
So first, before even thinking about a community center, we just knocked on doors in a lot of different communities in Columbus, Georgia, on our side of town. So we have some literature called Now We Know. Because in today's world, there's no reason for you not to know what you're supposed to be doing and why you're supposed to be doing it. So we have some literature called Now We Know that we pass out in the community, and that's our way of introducing ourselves to the community. So we just go and we knock on the doors, we talk with the people, we let the people know who we are, and then the people also let us know what's going on inside of their communities because each community have a different problem. So we don't just come into the community with the program. We let the people tell us what's going on, and then we organize around that. And so after we do that, then we'll clean up the community because most oftentimes our community are dirty. So we clean up the community, and then we'll come back with some informative literature. We have some literature like the PIG guide. It's a police interaction guide. We have gun literature. We have literature on fixing your credit. Just different literature that we can offer to people for free so that we can change our position and condition in society and become better, more efficient human beings. And then after that, we offer a community meeting where the people can come together because they've seen us now for 3 straight weeks. We've talked to them for 3 straight weeks. We've bettered their scenery first. Then we are involved in the community. So most oftentimes they come to a community meeting, then we organize with them that way.
Dig that, dig that. So, okay. So y'all just didn't come into the community and say, okay, y'all, this is what we gonna do. Y'all actually went, dealt with the people, talked to the people, saw what the people need, and designed, your program based on the needs of the people. So y'all took a very scientific approach to it.
Yes,
What we call that having a concrete analysis of the concrete condition. Y'all analyzed what was actually going on, and then y'all made decisions and programs based on the actual conditions, not being on some elitist. I already know the answer, so this is what y'all gonna do. Okay,
right.
dig that. So okay, tell me the process of how y'all did the got the community center.
So what we did was we said, and it's crazy how the universe works and how things come together. We said that we needed to raise $20,000 so that we can acquire some type of real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing that, we never focused on the economic part of the party because we were so young and it was everything. We had to get the information that we didn't focus on the economics. So we created a campaign called Unite to Fight. And what we realized is if all organizations can come together, no matter who you represent or what background you have, if you are Black New African Formation, we should come together and at least donate $1. And there's over 90,000 New African Black people in Columbus, Georgia. And we was like, hey, if we can get $1 from each one of them, that's $90,000. So we started putting a campaign out, and people started really donating. So that was one way. And then next, in doing studying, what the Comrades and I realized is we have to get off the plantation. That's what we called it. And we didn't want to work for someone because we didn't want someone to control our time. So we started to develop ways of creating income through products and services of our own. And when we developed that, that was a great contributor to us buying the building because we were able to expand. And in expanding, we just what people don't do is once they start making money or get educated, they leave their community and they go to another community that's already formed. So that means that the best of us are always leaving. So our community is gonna be in bad condition. So we just bettered ourselves, and instead of leaving, we come back and started investing into the community, and we was able to purchase the community for $20,000, and we started renovating it, and we got it looking nice for the people in our community, so they can have something that's respectable, they can have something that they can utilize, they can have something that's on their side of town that they can say that theirs, and the people have been loving it. We've been getting a great reception, and now it's time to go to the next phase. That's a grocery store.
And so, okay, you say you started this campaign like you said 2015? Is that what you
2016.
16? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And what year did you purchase the community center?
Last year.
So roughly that's about what, a 7 year?
Yep. About 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, so okay, from start to actually have that was like a 7 year program. Okay, that's
And
actually
it's
good
still
process.
going. It's
Yeah,
an
still
ongoing
going.
program.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, definitely. I'm bringing my comrade. You got any comment thing you want to say? Comrade. Oh, hold on. I got you muted. There you. Hold on. My bad. There you go.
I'm just listening, comrade. I'm hearing all the beautiful things that comrade brother have going on out there. That's a lot, you know. Hopefully, I can get out there and help contribute to some of them great works y'all got going on.
Yeah,
Indeed, bro. And
definitely.
we want to come out there the way y'all let too.
You don't want to
Yeah.
come out here where I'm at.
See, I don't know if you familiar with the
He
show.
hadn't figured it out yet.
Yeah,
I
but
know what I'm saying.
comrade is in the
Whatever
belly
city
of the
you
beast.
in,
Comrade,
yeah.
he
Whatever city
locked
you in.
down, man. Hard time. He a political prisoner. You know,
Indeed,
I know
we
you don't
got
like
programs
Bernie.
for that too, Conrad. We got programs for that too, so we can still get to where you at. You know, we ain't scared to work on the inside either.
Yeah, I can't hardly hear. I heard something. You got a program for that. That was all I could hear, comrade.
Yes, sir. I was just saying we got a program for working with the brothers on the inside too.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So we'll get with you.
That's what's
That's,
up. Most
that's what.
definitely.
That's what's up. Want to give a big shout out to Melly Queen out there. She said, "Free land, comrades and family, how y'all doing today?" That's what's up. Uh, big ups to who is that? To Fiti Kibuland. Okay, hey, how you doing? Glad to see you. General Ghazi, what's up to you? Black power to you. Everybody, and Bo Money is checking in again. What's up, comrade? Dunya, how you doing? Free land to you. She said, "Can't forget our behind the wall."
Yeah, right.
Definitely. We gotta always remember that. And anybody out there who have not checked in, or make sure y'all check in, give us a comment, give our comrade brother right here some love because he's doing some great things, doing really. I'm hoping to gain that blueprint and expanding and doing what you do down there right here and building and taking that program everywhere. So, in your opinion, comrade, why is it so important? Why do you feel it's so important that we take control of our community? You know what I'm saying? We do the
Yes,
things
sir.
we know. Is that important? Is that something y'all doing?
Well, what we know is what you don't own can and will be used against you. We know
Mm,
that. So just with food, shelter, clothing, health, transportation, we don't own the means of none of that. And if we don't own the food, now they got genetically modified food. And if we
mm,
don't grow our own food, we have to eat genetically modified food, which is not good for our bodies. So now that's a form of warfare. If we know we don't own the schools, now they're talking about the critical race theory. They don't even want to teach the correct history. So now our children, if we send them to public school because we don't have our own school, they won't have an identity. So we know that in owning the community first, we have to be able to invest in it. And for a long time, we've been under attack, so we haven't really invested into our community. Other people invested in it, so we have landlords / slumlords. So we have downwritten grocery stores because we get the less second grade food. We don't get the best meat because we don't have people that really have our best interests owning and operating and controlling the institutions that we need to really survive. So instead of trying to go into foreigners, we're just gonna do it ourselves. We're gonna go to work, or we're gonna own businesses, or we're gonna get with the brothers in the hood, and we're gonna put money together, and we're gonna invest into these institutions. We're gonna invest into land or real estate so we can have the houses, and we're going to put our people in these communities, and we're going to keep it safe, clean, and organized.
Damn right. That's what's up, man. I mean, I'll say right now I'm feeling real inspired, real energized. I'm like, man, I'm ready to, man, forget the show. I'm finna hit the streets. You know what I'm saying? So big ups for y'all for doing it. How did you, you know what I'm saying? How did you come to the conclusion that, you know, this is what you wanted to do? Because you look relatively young, and that's another beautiful thing, because it's a lot of brothers in this struggle that ain't really young no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm looking at 50, and my comrade over here looking at 52, you know, not
Right.
52, but 50 also.
Right.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
don't
saying?
be adding on the years. I'm trying to slow this thing down. I'm trying to put some brakes on it, man. I need
That's
some
right.
youthfulness on me.
Well,
Yeah, you
once I
about to
got
make me
into
go ahead
it,
and shave my gray off now.
oh man, you look good, brother. You look real good.
I'm messing around. Yeah.
Once I had got into it, Conrad, I started looking at the different races, right? So whether we agree with it or not, they have us set up in races. So you have the European race, you have the Asian race, you have the African race, you know, you have all these different Latino races, you have the different races. And I was looking at the progression of each race. So I started studying history, and I started studying the history of different races. You know, and I was like, wow, you know, I can see why people take pride in their history. So once I really started studying our history, I took pride in our history. But then I looked at our disposition of today, and I was like, we have the ability to be just as great as any other nation. However, in our time of need, everybody come to us and they kind of took advantage of our ignorance, you know, and now everything that we do is designed to empower every other race, everything that we do. And I was like, nah, man, we have to put a stop to that, you know. And I'm very competitive. I've been competing my whole life at different sports, or, you know, different card games, dominoes, whatever. And I'm like, why, as a people, if we're so competitive, why don't we just compete and grow our own food and get money and do what we need to do for ourselves and have our own nation? We can organize ourselves. We can govern ourselves. We can manage ourselves. We can grow our food. We can take care of what we need to do internationally. We can take care of what we need to do locally. So I just felt like I had to get the best of the people around me that's willing and able to do the work, and that's willing to free themselves mentally, physically, and then be able to put ourselves in a position of changing our position and condition in the society. And doing that, I was like, man, if we can just get a good team together. And then I started learning about the Republic, and I was like, wow, there's more people to pull from. So it was like, wow, I can, instead of just doing it in Columbus, I can go to Memphis. And we can do it in Memphis, and everybody can be on the same page, because I don't have all the programs. So when I come to Memphis and you have programs, you can just add programs, but now we add it under one umbrella, and everybody throughout the Republic will be learning one thing. So now when we come to Nation Day, we know all the new Africans on one accord.
Yeah. That's what's up, comrade. That's what's up. Like, dang. I'm sitting up here like, just get it. Be like, we got some real soldiers in the house. I'm like, ooh. Shoot, oh, like, man, yeah, I'm almost a loss for words. I mean, I'm really appreciating, you know what I'm saying, the information and the inspiration and the guidance that you provide, especially coming from a young brother. I'm just like, man, but yeah, man, ask the brother some questions, cause
We
he's
have
so
a mic
thorough
on
with
mute.
it. Oh, okay, all right. You want?
One thing I was gonna say though, comrade, you know, the programs that y'all do have set up, them some beautiful programs, and brothers behind these walls is getting out. They need programs. Well, I call the program safety nets for brothers that get out. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of brothers that get out and they fall to the wayside. I mean, the world is big, too big for them. And I know some brothers that strong stand-up brothers when I met them behind these walls, and then they had got out, and man, drop the ball big time. You know what I'm saying? Drop the ball to where they end up coming back in. But the reason why it's so easy for brothers to fall and drop the ball like that is because those safety nets ain't in place everywhere like they need to be.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And those programs we got, to me, that's what I call a safety net. To for brothers that's getting out, they can still be who they were when they transform themselves within. You see what I'm saying? See, someone like me, I have no choice but to come to my comrades, you know, because if not, then who I'm gonna end up going out there to people that probably not on the program. Not saying that I ain't strong enough to create the environment that I need, but it would be much more easier if I got comrades right there around me to keep me from, you know, slipping and falling and whatnot. Because we're gonna need that. You know, the inside and outside work hand in hand.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what we're looking at, because we have a prison prevention program, and in doing that, we want to help and prevent brothers and sisters from going to prison. And if they do go to prison, we want to help them while they're in prison, and then also help them while they're out of prison. And what we realized is, even if you don't go to prison, a lot of our people are living in poverty, and poverty produces crime. So a lot of our people are living street lives where they really making their money out of the streets, and it's from necessity, not because they want to. So what we are introducing to our people is, man, you can go to college and get a 2-year degree and be making like $60,000 or $70,000 a year. Majority of people, especially men, black men, only make about $40,000 a year on average. So you can come out making $70,000 a year. We can do resume building and get you a job, or we push entrepreneurship because we want to teach all our brothers and sisters a trade. All our granddaddies or uncles, people that older than us, they all had a trade. That was how we made our money. So we can get back to us building trades. By the time we get to a point to where we can buy 100 acres of land, we'll have 500 brothers with trades, and we can just start building our own houses. And then we can sure enough be on point.
Dig that. Perfect, comrade. Go back to the audience. Got a couple of people chiming in. Brother Bomani chiming in a couple of times. Said, "My comrade." I guess he talking to you. Comrade. We got brother Ricky, John Ricky Sparks. Peace to the God. Peace God.
Peace God.
Daniel, she said, now you know, I gotta blow this comment up, comrade. I gotta mess with you on this one. She said, Atajwe, my baby, yeah. I said that he gets extra love. Ooh,
I'll send next love back, Queen. Hey, Daniel been holding it down.
We see who the superstar on the show is.
She be holding it down with.
Now that's a good sister right there. That's a good sister. Let me see again. Daniel, she said, you know, DeSantos anti-woke means anti-black. Right. Yeah, I mean, like you spoke to that earlier. You know, it's like they really having an attack on our history because they like making it illegal for us to teach anything that makes white people feel bad about themselves, which is their damn whole history, because their whole history is full of genocide and murder of African people, indigenous people, basically everybody on the whole damn planet, including themselves. Right. So anything we teach about them should make them feel bad about themselves. In other words, they're making it illegal for us to teach the truth. So yeah, with that.
I want to speak to that. I mean, and I'm always have to speak to that because, for one, these people ain't never educated us about us, and then we should. The last thing we should ever want is someone that outside of self teaching us about who we are. That sounds crazy. My youngest daughter, she was in college. She take the African. I hate to use the word African American studies, but I say African people in America studies. History about it anyway, right? So she told me, she said she dropped the class. I said, why you dropped the class? She said, because a white professor came in there teaching the class. She said, can't no white man tell me about my history. I said, well, I'm sorry, baby. I probably did that to you because, you know, That's sending that, sending them books home and having them dialogues with my daughters and stuff. I think is most important that we, black men, have a blood responsibility to teach our children about our history and culture. I still stand on what George Jackson said. The only thing that we send our children to learn from enemy controlled schools is science and mathematics or something to that nature. But education should be at home when it comes down to our culture, our history. Can't nobody teach about us but us. And if we don't qualify, then we need to pick up the books and learn to become scholars and historians and teachers and professors right at home. That's just where it's going to have to be.
Right.
I don't trust sending my children to the enemy controlled school thinking that they're going to come back and have any kind of love for self, because I didn't learn in the schools, and I know the education curriculum didn't change. Matter of fact, I have 2 cousins who I'm in close communication with all my life. Practically, they raised me. They school teachers out there in Memphis. One at Sheffield, and I forgot the other school that my other cousin teacher at. And I asked them, I probe and ask them all the time, what y'all teaching, when it comes down to our culture and our people, and our history. And my cousin should tell me, them folks ain't finna let me do that. Even if I knew, I couldn't do it, because that's not their education program. I'm not getting paid to do that, and they don't pay me to do that. I said, well, if you wanted to, would you? She said, yeah, if I could, if I wouldn't get fired for it. And Memphis predominantly black. Education, the public schools is predominantly black.
Yep.
That's
why it's important for us to do what we're doing.
Right. We got to do that ourselves. We have to have those programs set up. Like you said, have them. Now, this is the thing. What I want to ask is, what type of books would you brothers recommend for children to begin reading when it comes down to this history and struggle of our people? What books do y'all recommend?
We recommend books that focus on identity and psychological analysis, because first things first, our children need an identity. You cannot function through the world without an identity. So, from birth, every other race of people know who they are through their culture. But throughout the Republic, we have so many different cultures, and that's just natural. We have to have a way of letting our children know that culturally we are all of these different things. However, we have to identify something, because if you don't identify something, whatever somebody can tell you are, you'll take it.
So for us, that's conscious and politically aware, then it wouldn't start with a book teaching our children their culture and identity, because we would be doing that. So when I ask that question, I'm asking, like, what education curriculum will we have for our children? Because we have, like I said, I believe that will start with us first and foremost. I'm gonna teach my children that they're new Africans. I'm gonna teach my grandchildren, you're a new African. I'm already doing that. As much as fight I get from them, I still teach that to them, because I think it should start from us first, right? Now, when I speak to what type of books we would have for them, I guess I'm looking for something else. You know what I'm saying? Besides, so I was looking for a particular. If y'all had already had a program already started to that, maybe I was asking that question for that purpose.
Are you asking for a book list?
So we have a book.
Maybe a list. I mean, if so.
So yeah, we have a reading book list through our organization, and we also have just gathered a lot of books for our community center, so that we can offer books to the children in the community. But the reason I said that is because the book that really helped change the dynamic and how I looked at things is Up From Slavery, and that's Booker T. Washington book. And when Booker T. Washington, right. So when Booker T. Washington first started the school, he didn't teach the people math and science and all of that. First, he taught them how to brush their hair, how to dress, how to brush their teeth. You see what I'm saying? So that's still a part of education. So what we have to go, and it might be minute, it may be, but we're so out of whack. We have to start from the basics. So all of us have to learn on the same wave of this is how we're moving throughout society. There's no other way. So we have to teach. This is our identity. This is how we got to this point. This is how we move. This is all, like you said, George Jackson, Malcolm X, Kwame Ture. We have to start teaching about all our scholars. We have to start teaching about all our revolutionaries, how they got here. And that's going to help our children with an identity so they'll know. A lot of people don't know we were enslaved for over 200 years. A lot of people don't know that we went through Jim Crow and Black Code for another 100 years. And a lot of people don't know this, and they skim over it because they make it like it's modern history, but it's not, because we have grandparents that were alive during that time.
Right.
Yeah, I think one thing about education, this kind of on the note, but I kind of got to give somebody a shout out because I think yesterday I was invited to a school to speak at a school, and it's Humes Middle School. They actually had a African history program. It was like in conjunction with the African April African April event that they have on this weekend that they have every year. And I was kind of shocked because this is a public school. Now, this is a public school, but they have a great teacher there, a sister by the name of Renita Parks. I got to give that sister a shout out. First of all, for even inviting somebody like me, because I was like, you invite me to a public school, you know what I'm about. But it was dope because it was like everything was red, black, and green. They broke down the flag. You know what I'm saying? They talked about Garvey, talked about Mansa Musa. They talked about some real history. You know what I'm saying? Then they let me go talk for a little while. And then they had another sister who actually has an independent school in which I didn't even know existed. So right here in Memphis, and I got this sister information and contact, and I'm like, okay, we finna build together, because what I'm seeing a lot right here, and one of my personal goals is what I'm seeing is you have people who are doing work over here, little people doing something over here, little people doing something over here, and we're not connected. So everybody kind of doing a little part, but we're not as effective as we should be because we're not bringing together. And one thing that every time I speak on creating a united front in Memphis of everybody who's trying to do something. So let's build together. That's kind of like what Nava did. It was like different people in Memphis who had their own little cast and whatever. I said, well, let's work together and become more effective, become an effective unit. So that's what I'm trying to do with the organizations who really serious about doing something for self and taking control of the community. But yeah, I met a sister who got, I think it's called like Cool Black Nerds or something like that. It's a small independent thing. And when she was speaking just like we do, and I'm like, damn, who is this sister? Where? I mean, why don't I know about this sister? And but yeah, I thought I'd just bring it up. I want to go to some of the comments, because what sparked that was one of the comments in which Melly Queen put out there. She said, teach man, that ain't comment that. Oh, this is a comment I saw. She's like, we have programs all over, but we need to connect and join together and work together. We have too much division. And that's what made me think about that, because like I said, just yesterday, it was a great program at a public school, you know what I'm saying, which kind of shocked me. That's why I'm gonna come get back in contact with this sister to pick her brain to see what's going on in the public school and see, is there even room for us to infiltrate the public school and bring some of our stuff into the public school while we're trying to build our independent schools at the same time, so we can attack them on both fronts.
That's the plan.
Yeah, definitely.
What we're doing with the PPI is, what we looked at is everybody doing something. If you notice, if I tell you defense, education, economics, politics, and culture, if you look at all our organization, all of them are a part of one of those 5 principles. What we're saying is, instead of doing individually, let's all come together. So if it's 500 of us, all 500 of us still doing our own economical, educational, whatever programs, but we can all come together and push the other programs as well. So now it won't be only 30 people came, 40, 60, 80. It'd be like, man, we brought out 1,000 people because there were 500 of us pushing it, So that's what we're looking to do. So we're looking
Yep.
to bring that platform to the whole republic, so we can all be on one accord. Once we all get on one accord, like Uhuru Academy, if we can all get
Mm-hmm.
on one accord with Uhuru Academy, and that can be in each district, we can all know we learning the same information. If all of us getting a rebuild, we all know that we getting the same propaganda. So it's like that's what we have to get into.
Definitely. I'm with you 100%, comrade. We on the same page. Want to say what's up to Black Cloud from Miami TV. How you doing, comrade? Kicked it with you for a little bit down in Nation Day. You said freedom and respect, comrades. Definitely. Danya been hitting us up.
Yeah, I saw when she said some stuff. Listed some books. Some books I actually haven't heard of, especially when it come down to children. You kind of got to go up for that, right? Let me see.
Yeah. I'm gonna get to it. I ain't got to it yet. I'm gonna get to it in a minute. Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
y'all, you're right. She did give a couple of good examples. Melly Queen, thank y'all for all the work. Definitely. Brothers got to stay consistent. That's one Bo Money.
That's right.
Yes, sir. I think Bo Money made that comment according to when I was saying about having safety nets out there on the streets for brothers that's getting out, because it is hard for brothers who re-enter back out, from these prisons out there into the world, especially out there and done so much time, right? Because we all got big plans and stuff. Hell, we got big plans, and then when it's time to implement that plan, when it's time to take action on it, last week I was just telling you, I said I kind of felt like I had a panic attack or something, some type of anxiety hit me, because I always had the plan about what I'm gonna do. But now that the door is probably fixing to pop open for real, I gotta put this plan together. And I start like, damn, this shit real. You know what I'm saying? And so it like I said, it's kind of easy to say it. Well, I ain't gonna say it's kind of easy. It is easy to say that, but then when I'm a hustler. One thing about I'm gonna get out here and do what I gotta do to take care and survive out here. That's no secret. Now I'd rather make sure that I'm legit and I ain't doing nothing that could possibly end up putting me in harm's way to come back in prison or any other crazy thing. But I'm not gonna sit out here on my ass neither and have my hands out. I did enough of that behind these walls, something I do not like doing, calling and asking for help.
Right.
But now some of the guys I've met that came back, they had addiction problems. And it was easier for them within these walls to overcome their addictions, And I'll say this here to my knowledge about addiction, because I go and sit in some of the AA and NA programs inside the prisons. I like going to sit in there, and because I consider myself an alcoholic. So I hear some of the problems that people have as drug addicts. And some of the questions that I asked is, what sparked you to doing drugs that put you on that path? And when you hear some of those stories, it's like, damn, I can see how you probably slipped again. Like some guys might say, hey, I'm a recovering addict. I've been off drugs since such many years or whatever. And then the love of my life, when I got out and we was, I had me a job. I lost my job. When I lost my job, I lost the house, and me and my family, we went to the homeless shelter, and then my people died while we was in the homeless shelter. It's sad stories. Stories is like, damn, that's all at one time. And that triggered them to go back to, their addiction.
Right.
It's like that crutch,
Right.
So when you got safety nets there, and most of these, and what I come to the conclusion, right? I mean, well, I ain't gonna draw a conclusion, but what I kind of make the connection towards is that I can imagine some of the guys I've met that are conscious brothers who made those slips. They didn't have safety nets, right? They didn't. Those safety nets wasn't there for them for other comrade brothers and sisters to, for them to, help them through those hard times. And they end up slipping and falling and back in the prison system again, So when you got comrades you can come home to, I mean, that's the point of calling each other comrades. You know, in my book, I call you a comrade because I really mean that. You know, I look for you to be there if I'm falling. Trust me, I'm there if you falling. However you need me to help you or assist you or whatever, I'm gonna be there with the blink of an eye. You know, I try to make sure I do that now. That's part of my practice with brothers and family and sisters, whoever. You know, if you need me and I got you, I'm capable of doing it. That's no problem. That's just something that I think we have to be there for each other. Is basically what I'm getting at, you know. And that's kind of hard for some of us to understand after doing time. People don't understand us. It's like somebody probably had been to the military. You did all this and did these tours and stuff, and then seen all this stuff that the average citizen may not have seen, and then they come back and they ain't got nobody to relate to. I talked to one of my brothers that's on the streets. He stayed locked up 21 years, right? And he out now. And I called him this morning, matter of fact. He give me the same story every time. He been out for the last 4 years now. He said, man, hey, brother, man, if y'all don't call me, I ain't got nobody that I can relate to. Now, he not conscious like that. He just love kicking it with me. I used to try to bring him towards conscious, but you know, he'll read, but he, you know, for some reason, he just didn't get committed to it, but he'll still bust out and say, hey, man, I ain't got nobody I can talk to, man. A lot of time I want to call y'all. I don't know if I can call y'all like that. You know, I know how it is in there, but I'd rather for y'all to call me. So, man, just make sure y'all checking up on me, you know? Yeah. You know, so I understand to a degree, you know, at least as long as you got programs like that set up, I know then we stand a chance, you know? Yeah.
Dig that.
I ain't trying to be too deep.
Hey, you know how we do, come. Hey, brother, you don't know, brother T, but he runs an excellent political education program in the prison, which where he is. He's been responsible for converting so many mentalities from a criminalistic mentality to a new African revolutionary mentality. He do a great service, man, wherever he is. So, I mean, you know, you talking to a legend right there. I don't think you just on the show with any old scrub. I might be a scrub, but my comrade ain't a scrub, you know?
Salute, brother.
No. It's you know, hey, but that's what we gotta do though, comrade. I mean, each one teach three. You know, they used to say each one teach one. You know, we need all hands on deck. Brothers got a heavy load, you know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Definitely. So Bo Money checked in again. He said, reconfirm one's commitment is always necessary. And I'm agreeing with that 1,000%. There goes some of the books in which Adanya was talking about. Malcolm Little Before Malcolm X is a great 4-5 plus book for children.
I guess she's saying 4 to 5 year olds.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. That's what she said. That's a book that I'm not familiar with. You all familiar with that book?
No. That's why I was like, okay, the one right up on her, she's saying it too. She's saying Becoming Malcolm X is a great junior high level book. I never heard of that. And she said, I heard of this one.
And see, that identity is important, you know?
Right. And the other one is High School Level Harry Haywood, Black Bolshevik. Now, I've heard of that book. I haven't read it, but I know of Harry Haywood being part of the African Blood Brotherhood. They was in matter of fact, they was in conflict with Garvey's movement to a degree, you know. And Garvey movement was, you know, they was kind of back and forth with each other because the African Blood Brotherhood was a socialist group, and it was kind of like their development. If I'm not, well, I don't really want to speak to to that degree, but I'll just say I know there was a socialist organization during Garvey's time, and Garvey was a black nationalist organization, which, you know, Garvey had his view towards capitalism and saying it, you know, basically saying it as a tool whereas the brothers was espousing socialism. Anyone that's espousing socialism is gonna be anti-capitalism in my book. You know, you have to be
Yeah.
if you truly socialist. You know,
Right.
so yeah.
Yeah, definitely feel that. Children's program needs literature for sure.
For sure. We definitely got plenty of books. We got a whole reading list, but what we really want to focus, especially because we have a youth PPI. And with that youth PPI, we're working with children from the ages of 6 to 12. And from
Okay.
6 to 12 is right now, 12-year-olds could really be children. But now when they get about 9, 10-year-old, they become young men real fast. So we want to make sure they know what's going on, you know. So after identity, we start getting them into the mode of developing the mind, because individually you have to develop. That's when we get into the hierarchy of needs. So you need to know, what do you need to just be comfortable, your basic needs, how to take care of yourself. Malcolm X said, once my daughters are able to take care of themselves the way that I'm able to take care of them, then I must say that they're equal to me. Right? So we have to make sure that we're able to show our children how to take care of themselves the way we're able to take care of them, so they can transition from being children to adults, or young teens to adults. And that's our education program. It's a whole psychological mental program, but that's what we need. That's what we need.
Did that. Moon Ra, how you doing? Said free the land. Want to make sure I acknowledge you for coming on the program, you know, at YouTube. I definitely have a question for you, comrade.
Yes, sir.
And I think, but money just ask a question too. But I'm gonna ask this question first. So, all right, what I've been noticing in the past 10 years, 10, 20 years, is a bit disconnect between the older generation and the younger generation. It should not exist, because both of us really need each other in order to propel forward. You know what I'm saying? That youth need that elder guidance to help them navigate, and older people need the youth, because they update with the latest technology. They know what's actually going on now, and it's a big disconnect. So in your opinion, how can we bridge that gap? How can we close that gap?
We have to establish boundaries. So at some point in our community, I was reading an article and they was like, black men, new African men don't really grow up until they're like late 30s, early 40s. So you have a lot of like older gentlemen acting like young boys. So when the young boys come along, they all think that we all in the same circle or same wavelength, and we're not. That's why I say I'm 33 and I'm young, but I'm not 19. So I have to understand that I'm not 19 and I have responsibilities, and I have to move like a 33-year-old, and then I have to also guide the 19-year-old. But my sensei, or what I call about 50. So it's like, all right, it's levels. His sensei is about 70, 65, somewhere along in there. So I think how we bridge that gap is we have to make sure that it's proper leadership from the older guys, and the older guys have to properly have groom us for leadership, because we don't really have anything. So when we get something, we don't want to let it go. So if we get a hold of some money or a money bag, we're not gonna really want to show somebody how to do it and then give them the bag. We're gonna say, go and get your own bag, you know. So once we create that leadership, and then that leadership grooms the next generation, then we can start having that youth being able to see how we're being groomed, seeing how the older men are acting, and then they have role models. The role models that they have now are the drug dealers, the pimps, the players, the athletes, and that's what they're gonna look up to. So they get tattoos, they start wearing the clothes that the athletes and entertainers wear, and they start acting like them. So they mistreat women, they abuse property, they don't really know the whole dynamic of what it takes to be an adult. So they, in our community, like I tell my comrades, our communities are being terrorized by teenagers. It's not 30 and 40-year-olds that going out shooting and robbing people. it's 17, 14, 22. So where are the men that's going to stop it? And that's why we come in and say, in whatever area we set up at, that ain't going on. Because you have to encounter us first. And most robbers don't want to get caught. Most people not robbing because they want to. They robbing out of necessity. So we're just going to be the barrier in between that, and then we're going to offer you an alternative. We're not just going to say stop robbing because we know that's how you eat. But you can't rob here. You know, be like Robin Hood. Take from the rich and give to the poor. But we have to protect the poor around here. So we can offer you an alternative by going to college, offer you a trade, or giving you a job. But I think that we should get that core group of older men that's down to protect the community, groom us and show us what we need to do by taking care of ourselves, our families, then the community. Because a lot of us don't even get married. See what I'm saying? So the young guys don't even look at marriage as a thing. A lot of young guys say marriage is too big of a commitment. But I'd be like, bro, you 22 with 3 kids. You know, that's the biggest commitment of them all, having children. So we have to re-educate ourselves to understand what and how, as new African men, how we supposed to move in our community. How do we protect our families? How do we get ourselves in a position individually to even be able to have a wife? Because you're supposed to be able to take care of your wife. And once you be able to take care of your wife, you take care of your children. And then those strong families contribute to an organization that's going to be able to keep the community safe, clean, and organized. Then we'll be able to own our homes. We'll be able to own the businesses. We'll be able to put our children in better educational facilities. And then the community will be able to have some type of order. And that's what we're missing, order and balance.
I know that's interesting because like here, one of the programs that we're working on is a rites of passage program for both boys and girls. So, you know, they can be exposed to people who actually basically do the same thing you're doing, and like mentorship programs and all of the above. So I'm with you 100%, comrade, 100%. Bo Money checked in. He asked a question. He said, how does the PPI work relate to the building of the new African nation?
Okay, so the Republic of New Africa is a national setting. So we have the 5 states, of course, and inside of those 5 states, we have districts. And in order, what the PPI say is, we have to be able to organize on a local level. So you should have Democrats, Republicans, and the PPI, right? And on that local level, all throughout the Republic, we all should know what we are doing, what we're learning, what food we're growing, so that we can have a network. We should have an emergency network. The police and the ambulance and all that, that's an emergency network. We should have a New African emergency network as well. We should have political systems. All of this should tie in to one thing, and that's a New African formation. And in this New African formation, we'll be able to govern ourselves on a national level. We'll be able to take our local problems on a national level. We'll be able to have a national budget. We'll be able to do everything nationally from what we've been doing locally. And so we've created a module from the PPI that we can take throughout the whole Republic where everybody be on the same page. And then the Republic will be strong because, like I said, with the Uhuru Academy, if everybody learning and everybody know what their children learn and what we're supposed to be learning, we'll know how to talk to each other. If all of us culturally celebrate the same holy days, if all of us culturally celebrate the same individuals and doing things together, all Muslims know what Ramadan is. As New Africans, we should have that same type of identity, like culturally or nationally, what do New Africans do on a national base? And that locally, nationally, it'll be way easier to get everybody together. So that's the PPI.
So, like, your suggestion is we start to nationalize curriculums and customs, holidays, traditions, so everybody creates a cemented New African culture. There's like Malcolm X's birthday, that's Malcolm X Day, and we're gonna do everybody collectively, we're gonna do this. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I'm feeling that, comrade. Gene Gonzalez, he said revolution starts at home.
That's right. Individually.
Individually, it does. It does. It does. How long was you planning to stay with us? Cause I forgot to tell you something. Me and Atajwe, we get on here, we just be talking, you know.
Hey, Conrad, we talking. We talking, my brother.
All right, I didn't want to hold you up and then you get cussed out talking about what the hell you been? You supposed to be down there doing these damn dishes.
Hey man, I let my wife know I'm on call. I love my wife, man. We got a good relationship. She understands that I have to do the work.
That's what's up. How long you been married, comrade?
I've been married. Man, don't let me lie to you now.
Don't get into trouble now.
This will be 2 years. In September, it'll be 2 years.
Okay, what's up? That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what you want to give your wife a shout out, man, because you know what I'm saying the foundation of the nation is the black family, black man,
Right.
woman.
Hey, my wife was she commented to see the LK Balon. That was my wife.
Oh, that's her?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's my wife. Yes, sir. You know, she on the scene, she watching. She helped build. She was inside of the party. You know, she building with us. You know, we got a business that we own together, multiple businesses that we own together. You know, so we working, we doing the work. We got some beautiful children. You know what I'm saying? So everything coming together for us, and so we just want to take that and show the Republic that marriage is not handcuffs. You can still have fun. You can still go out. You can still kick it with the boys, whatever. But you have to take care of home, and we run it like a kingdom. Most people don't understand what a kingdom is, but at our highest of high, we were under a monarchy. We had a kingdom type of governing system, and that kept order and balance with us. So that's how I kind of run my household, sort of like a kingdom. But you know, the king ain't nothing without the queen. We always know that. So you know, it's your kingdom, but the queen runs it. Everybody knows she make the rules. You know what I mean? So, but I have fun, man. I get to travel. You see, I was at Nation Day, you know. So I get to travel. I get to kick it with the Conrads and have a good time, and she be right there with me. So yeah, man.
So all right, since we're on the topic of marriage, wife, and your family, what's the importance of family is in reference to nation building about what we're trying to do? You know what I'm saying? Why is family so important? Because a lot of times in this society, they kind of act like family ain't important. You know, they tell women that you don't need a man, you can do it by yourself, and blah blah blah.
Right. As New Africans, we know families are the foundations of a community. A community is made up of individuals, but also individual families. So, in creating families, we know that families are legacy. Families are also economic. That's how we really bring in money through families. Things started changing during the world wars when women had to start working. Most oftentimes, women didn't work. So once the women started working, roles started being reversed. And once you start making money, you wouldn't want to go and sit at home either. You know, so what we have to do is make enough money to where our women can work inside of our businesses or create a business to where our women can work and not have to deal with the hassle of being surrounded by 50 or 100 wolves every day going into the plantation, you know. So in building a family, we have to make sure that we can secure our family, secure our wife, make sure she's protected. Because as a man, how it used to be, you couldn't get married to a woman unless you had at least what her dad had or more. So that's why before you got married, you had to meet her daddy. Because her daddy had to make sure you could take care of her. Because if you couldn't take care of her, he wouldn't let you marry her. So in essence, she was going from one dad to the next. So our job is to take care of our wife as we do our children. But a lot of us don't even do that. So that's why we always arguing and going back and forth with our women because we're not properly leading. And once we become a proper leader, we have to make sure we can manage and maintain. Because one thing Minister Farrakhan said to me, what made me change my mind, we were building an organization, and he was like, look at you, you're so revolutionary. I was looking at one of his speeches. He was like, you're so revolutionary, you want to build a whole black nation, but you can't even build a black family, right? And I was like, wow, you know, it's so easy for us to say we can go and get 50 women, or I'm the man, I got this woman, I got that woman, whatever. But how many of us say, I'm in a successful marriage, I run my household, my children taken care of, my wife don't have to worry about nothing, we nation builder. Not many of us saying that. So I wanted to make sure to be the example to say, man, let's build families and become better off, because individually you can do okay, but together, you know, women are incubators. So whatever you were doing individually, she gonna times that by 10. So that what happened with me, and I wanted to be the example to the rest of the Comrades and the rest of the nation. Like, let's get married. Every other nation married, Arabs married, Europeans married, Latinos married, and they come and just play with our women. All the other races come and get our women because they're not protected. And since they're not protected, they have to go and learn how to survive without us. You know, so in building that family, we got to make sure that we can maintain and take care of our women and our children. So
So, okay.
that's important.
So, all right, what do you think? Because, like, there are some individuals who go by under the umbrella of the banner as feminists.
Okay.
And they will take offense to some of the things you saying, because they'll say women don't need to be in the home and blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm pretty sure you heard the rhetoric.
Right.
And there are some Black women, new African women, not necessarily conscious new African women, but new African women who buy into the whole feminist movement. What do you say about Black feminism, that whole construct?
Okay. Well, we believe in man, woman, and child. That was our ancient construct. And during the feminist movement, white women were fighting for equal pay, better economical availability. They were still married. They were still going home to their husbands. Our women started fighting for women's rights and became the strong Black woman. But we don't say the strong white woman, the strong Mexican woman. We don't say that for any other race of women, but our women don't have to be strong. They can be soft and delicate and still be effective. Now, so feminism is something that our women got involved in, but they always had equal rights. They were always on the same level as the new African or the Black male or the African male. So I don't have any problem with women empowerment. However, I think that man, woman, and child is our construct, and that's how we would be the most successful.
You got anything you want to follow up with, Comrade?
Well, when y'all brought up the feminist movement, the brother's right on point. You know, being the all white movement. The thing is, I want to say historically, our women always been working side by side, right, with their men, right? You know, when we looking at it from being over here anyway, for sure. If we start from there and we talk about the feminist movement, the feminist movement was white women joining hand in hand with other white women because they didn't have the same privilege or ownership rights as their counterparts, right?
Right.
So when you said the wars that brought about women having to go into the labor force, that was white women having to leave their house because, you know, under the American nightmare, it was the man bring home the bacon and the bread or whatever, bring the bread home, and the woman stayed in the house. You know, their concept was the woman would be in the house barefoot, buck naked, and in the kitchen or something, you know, and pregnant.
Right.
That was their idea. You know, that wasn't ours. That's theirs. And so when the feminist movement got started, that was the early 1900s during the World War I era, because their men had to take off and get killed in war and get their ass handed to them or whatever, you know, and they was left without being able to maintain the property and stuff like that. So they had to get out there and work. You know, whereas our black women, they didn't lose their men because our men was right there still on the taking care of things that we had already been taking care of, and our jobs doubled once their men went to war. You know, so when white women was left with their children and no man, you also got to understand that what brought them together is in order for them to vote, they had to own property. You couldn't vote if you didn't have property. So white women had to become property owners. You see what I'm saying? So the whole feminist movement was about white women going into power. Whenever you hear the word feminism, you should think about the white woman. You should never think about the black woman. Now, when the black woman end up joining into their feminist movements and stuff like that, that's out of a stage of ignorance. I can't deem it nothing else but ignorance, because we never been in a position to oppress our women.
Right.
You know, you have African customs and traditions that may have been a certain way with women and probably still are today, but that's over there. We're talking about over here in America, North America.
Right.
Black men ain't had an opportunity to oppress a woman. I don't think black men should ever even consider the thought of or trying to oppress the black woman, because somehow black women kick some of these black men in their ass. Let's just be honest about it.
They're right.
So,
They're right. Man. They're right. So.
Hold on, y'all. Let me hold on.
All right, that's cool. Well, now I'm in a strict agreement with basically both of what y'all was saying, because I mean, if you look at it from a historical point of view, white women actually had a real beef with white males, because like a lot of this male chauvinism is a European thing. You know what I'm saying? Even when you look at much of the issues that people have in Africa with women, a lot of that stuff did not occur until African nations began to be colonized by European nations, Islamic nations. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these customs about the disrespect, or having women not on an equal level as men, is something that was brung into our culture, period, by outside invaders. So it ain't never, usually there was more of a meiotic balance between men and women, brothers and sisters, kings, queens, gods and goddesses, even on the continent, but definitely here in the United States. But yeah, European women, white women, has had a real beef with their men, because that's something that has been going on ever since, over in Europe. You can trace it back to the caves of the Caucasus Mountain, one thing that we got to be careful of is getting wrapped up into white people movement. We didn't do that, you know what I'm saying? Even when it come down to this voting stuff, people like, oh, well, I can't fuck with them Republicans because they're bad, so we got to go to the Democrats, love the Democrats, and they screwing us over, and not realizing that Democrats are simply using us as pawns in their political game to get political power. But neither one of them mean us any good, and we're just getting wrapped up in someone else's movement. And when I always say, we playing checkers in a chess game, and when you play checkers in a chess game, you end up being a pawn in somebody else's game. So like the feminist movement, like so many other movements, is like we're getting wrapped up and being pawns in somebody else's game that did not going to benefit us in the long run, period, because it ain't designed to benefit us. We just aiding other people in their own movement, empowering other people in our own movement, and not directing that attention to our own thing, which is where it's really needed.
Cover, I want to say something else about the feminist movement too. I got a couple things I would like to say, but let me point this out for sure. Every time the feminist movement has risen their head, that was during the time when our movement was at a high stage. So it seems more of a political attack on us coming from that side. If we look at it correctly, it is because what the feminist movement does, they join our movement at the heightened times. I can say 3 times that the feminist movement have reared their head during a heightened moment of our struggle. And what they do is they end up taking prominent speakers away from us taking strong sisters out of our movement and bringing them over to their movement. A lot of our people that are in our movement have great skills, speaking skills, but what they don't have is that historical and political awareness that's needed in our movement to see the same old tricks that's already been played being played again. Now, I said in the feminist movement show they had 3 times. That was during the First World Wars, in the early 1900s. That was a heightened time for garbage movement, the Black Nationalist movement. Remember, it was big back to Africa for the Africans movement, back to Africa movement. That was garbage time. That was a heightened moment for Black people. Second time, the 60s, the 50s, 60s, and 70s during the Black Liberation movement. Hold on.
Now, and just to reiterate, my comrade point,
I put my
when you look at the civil rights movement, which I know he was going to come to, when you look at the civil rights movement, when the smoke's cleared and all the bullets fired, when you analyze it today, the people who made the most gains from the civil rights movement, the Dr. Kings, the I Have a Dream, the getting your head bashed in with a bricks, the protest, dogs sticking on you, the people who made the most gains are white women. And this is a statistical fact. You know what I'm saying? We know that white people they've gained, and if you look at this, if you honestly, you know what I'm saying, and might show spread a little controversy, but who cares? When you look at the movement from the Black Lives Matter, ever since that movement sparked up from white brown, yeah. And honestly, probably the biggest group from this movement is the LGBT community. Because they jumped on this community and they aligned themselves with it, and they took a lot of momentum. And both the laws, things, gains actually affect them. Very little has affected us. You know what I'm saying?
The LGBT community and the feminist movement are one and the same. They have the same goal and the same agenda. You know what I'm saying? All these movements that when our movement is at its strongest point and revolutionary tide is possible at that particular time, a revolutionary change is possible. Those people literally come in with their complaints. The so-called Jews and all join in, and they take our movement off its course because our people are so open to inviting others to have other people get involved and see our pain and hear our cries, and we open the doors for them folks, and they pull us clean away from our struggle every time. They take the strength away from it. They water it down. Even though Black Lives Matter was unstructured and didn't have a political agenda, but there was young youth out there sick and tired of seeing their people and people that's their age being murdered out there in the streets by these assassins dressed in uniforms. Them little youth was out there. They needed guys. They needed the elders. They needed people with experience, true enough. We could say all the things they need, but one thing they did need is strength. And they had it out there, and they was ready to take it to them. But guess what happened? Feminist movement, gay movements, and everybody else infiltrated their organization right the moment it got off the ground. And you don't even hear about Black Lives no more until it's time for somebody to throw up the race card.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Where they at, whenever the situation pop off, then we still, that nobody has taught our people one particular thing: don't become issue oriented.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're in the movement, stay in the movement, even when it ain't a lot of shit popping on the news and on the internet about what's going on. Stay in the movement still. Don't get, I'm sick of it. They wearing you out on CNN every time you turn the TV on, or on your cell phone, you got a flash. Compton did this. Now you all in the movement again.
Right.
You gotta stay consistent, stay committed. We have a problem with consistency and commitment.
Yes,
that is a psychological issue for us to examine.
Yep, that's why Bumana was saying it's always important that we must always reconfirm our commitment to whatever we committed to.
That's right.
Definitely. I want to say what's up to Uriah Tracy. My first time hearing from you. So welcome to the program, man.
That's a comrade of mine, Uriah.
Oh, Uriah. Okay. All right. My bad for mispronouncing your name. You ain't the first person I mispronounced.
Yeah,
Not be the last. But welcome to the show, Comrade. So good to have you on. Hopefully this won't be your last time seeing the show because you got your comrade with you. You to tune in when the comrade ain't on there. But she said, I think we inspire others to move and then we get distracted by their movements. And you are absolutely right, Uriah. I agree 3,000%. We get distracted by other people. And really, people who are politically savvy, that's what they do. Because what they do is they look for a moment which galvanizes the attention and the momentum of the people to act and move. And then they jump on it and they take some of that momentum and use it for their own movement. It's a political strategy. And it really is just a dialectic. Understanding how dialectics work. They just utilizing it because they understand that there's an action that's going to cause a reaction that's going to ultimately lead to a synthesis or a solution. And all they do is they just jump on it. They realize that the response is going to come, so they jump on the response. And they galvanize that and they take it and they use it for their own benefit. You know what I'm saying? That's why, when things happen, we got to make sure that we're out in front articulating what's going on to the people, because when people get shot and the people don't know what's going on, they pissed. We got to be the ones that's sitting up there, be like, this is what's going on. This is why they shooting us. This is why they getting away with it. We got to be in front. When the whole reparation movement is escalating, and they talking about all the different states saying, well, we're going to try to do this and that. We got to be on front of that conversation, because if we don't, other people will take it over, and we won't get shit. It won't even benefit us.
I just had that same conversation with brothers yesterday at class. I said, if the people out there who own this country and run this country say, all right, we're going to give black people, New African people, $3 million for reparations, how many of y'all would take it? And the brothers in the class, they knowing me, like, all right, I don't know if I need to raise my hand. But I said, go on, raise your hand. You motherfuckers ain't had $3 million. Go on, raise your hand. I said, the thing about that is that ain't what reparations is. That ain't, see, if you take that, the moment you take that money, you then, when 10 years later or 5 years later, when you find out what reparations really is, and you be like, hold on, y'all tricked me. I don't want this on. Y'all can get your money back. You ain't gonna be able to get it back. You ain't gonna be able to say no. Well, I want the rest of what y'all owe me. No, you ain't gonna be able to get it back. You agreed to that. So it's important that we learn what reparations is and what it really means for us as a nation of people. Because these people is using everything that's coming to light now. All this information is out there now. People is getting hold of it and they're hearing it. But guess what? Your opposition, your true enemy, is knowing what's going on. They are knowing that we are waking up to something that belongs to us. So now they're trying to do damage control and get ahead of this thing and throw out little shit like that. So we got to be smart enough to know, all right, we understand this is what they coming with, but so we got to arm our people properly with the correct knowledge and correct information on what this really is. Don't be sidetracked. Don't get tricked. Remember, they did this before, and this is part of their strategies and tactics. You see what I'm saying? That's part of our educational program. That's being politically aware. We got to be up on that.
That's right, bro. That's right.
Definitely. That's what's up. That's what's up. Here's some more of these comments. The Queen, Black Lives Matter. Take those funds and use them for gay issues.
And personal issues as well. They under investigation now.
Yep.
That's what they do. They get in these movements and spark little funds and stuff, because people that people want something done, but they don't know who to turn to. So anybody that sound good and look good for the camera or whatever, or always out there in front of the camera, end up becoming these so-called leaders for the people, and they really not the leaders.
That's right, bro. That's right.
Yeah, they ain't no opportunities.
Yep. One thing we got to be clear about: COINTELPRO ain't dead. It's still alive and well. Matter of fact, it infiltrated heavily the Black Lives Matter movement. It just was a story that they uncovered FBI agent who infiltrated I think Black Lives Matter in somewhere like that. And they tried to get one of the leaders, I guess it was a strong brother, they tried to get him set up to go to prison. We're trying to get him to commit some kind of crime. So, you know, and that's just one that they discovered, that they know about. You know what I'm saying? So anytime we got something that has promise, they gonna come forward in many different ways.
They coming.
Yeah, but Money said, tell the people about the Unite to Fight Community Reinvestment Summit. What's that all about, Comrade?
Saturday, this coming up Saturday, we're having so our campaign of Unite to Fight, we're having a campaign, but we're also going to have a summit where we're going to bring all the community leaders, where I was talking about on the news, the community leaders, the pastors, organizational leaders, people inside the community. We're bringing everybody together so that we can put our money where our mouth, where our mouth is. And what we want to do is bring everybody together. Let's talk about the issues. Let's formulate solutions, and then let's actually apply them. See what's applicable to our situation, and then be able to keep it up. Not just do it one time, but start to create coordinated committees throughout these communities to be able to keep it organized. And we're going to do it at our community centers, 2503 Dawson Street, Columbus, Georgia. And it's not just limited to Columbus, because it's a ghetto in every hood. You know, it's a hood in every city, and in every city, in every nation, you got hood, ghettos. So what we want to do is have a meeting and bring everybody out. Dr. John Henry Clark said we cannot say Marcus Garvey or W. Du Bois. We have to start saying Marcus Garvey and W. Du Bois. So that's what we're doing, bringing everybody together so that we can all speak about the issues and see what can we actually do to get it right.
Definitely. Well said. Well said. I really appreciate what you're doing, Comrade. Like, for real. And I say that with the most sincerity. We really don't even have too much, too many guests on this particular show, especially now that Comrade Atajwe back. He was out for a second. So man, it's you really mean, we think highly of you to just bring you on the show.
Thank you, Comrade. I thank y'all, brothers, because y'all have a beautiful platform. The show is very well organized. Even if, like you say, y'all live, so even if things happen, you still have it organized. You still got to put together nice. You're delivering information to the people. People can raise their awareness, and you're not just doing it on the show. You're active in your community, like brother in his location. Political awareness, political education is important. I always tell the comrades, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Yep. That's the truth with our people.
Definitely, man. We going on about an hour 40 minutes. I ain't gonna keep you all day and all night. Comrade Atajwe, you got anything you want to wrap up with? You know what I'm saying? Before we get up out of here.
No, Comrade. I was sitting back, kind of getting in the cut because it's count time, right? So you know me, I'm on watch. I enjoyed the show and enjoyed meeting you, bro. How you pronounce your name again?
Comrade Atajwe.
Atajwe.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you,
Atajwe. Okay. Nice to meet you, Comrade. Man, I hope this ain't the last time. Indeed. I don't know if we on Facebook with each other or anything like that. That's mainly how I try to communicate with everyone, to keep everybody numbers up out the phone and stuff. They don't need to get out all my damn information.
We'll find each other.
Yeah, man. I hope we continue to stay in contact. Bo Monty, he got my information. I know he got yours, so if nothing else, we can reach each other through that brother there.
Most definitely.
Hope you come back on the show, brother.
Indeed, I will. Matter of fact, I'm coming down there to Memphis soon. We're gonna get together, Comrade, and we're gonna talk, man. See if we can come
man, that's what's up. That's what's up.
When we come down here.
Okay.
Before we get out of here, Bomani got another question for you. How did you come across the New African Independence Movement, and what does it mean to you?
Good question.
That was a good question, Conrad. I came across the movement around 2016, 17, around that time, 2015. It's all together. But and when I came across it, and what I realized, what I pieced together in my mode, I was like, wow, all the Marcus Garveys, the Garveyites, the nation, the Moors, the Hebrews, the Panthers, all of those are new African formation.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, we've been struggling for a long time to get to a position of really putting ourselves, standing on our 2 feet. And I was like, man, you have to love the spirit of our people, the spirit, the fight, the tenacity of our ancestors, because I was like, they didn't have to go through that shit. They could have just laid it down, really.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people that went through what our people went through don't exist no more.
Yep.
So I was like, man, I in good faith, I couldn't sit and tell my ancestors that I didn't continue to fight. I didn't continue to study. I didn't continue to put ourselves in position to free the land, to get our own nation, to have a place of our own, to do things of our own, to control ourselves, to be in control of our own destiny. So I got with the Comrades, and we really started pushing it. And the independence movement is really what it is. We want to be independent. We want to be free. We want to govern ourselves, and by any means necessary, we gonna do that. So I dedicated my life to that. I dedicated everything that I got to it, and money, time, resources, whatever. Everybody, my wife on it, my children on it. Everybody around me on it. It's a lifestyle. It ain't something that I do in my free time. It's something that I do all the time, So they're just what I do, and I'm ready to connect and build and do what I need to do to help contribute, because it ain't just about me. It's about everybody doing what we got to do for the collective. So I love it.
That's what's up. Y'all remember this brother, Atajwe.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Atajwe.
Jasiri. Y'all gonna hear a lot from this brother. Hopefully, we're gonna create more brothers like him. And it's just gonna multiply and get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Black Cloud says, make sure y'all thumb up the video, subscribe, and share. Thank you.
Right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Make sure, because we need this platform to grow. We need to be connected. Make sure y'all check out George Jackson Radio. Make sure y'all check out the other shows and all. Let me go up to Melly Queen's announcement that she do every week, every show really. Thank you for joining us on the New African Broadcast Association. Naba, please check out our other shows. Number one, New African Perspective on Mondays at 1 o'clock Central Time. That's 2 o'clock Eastern Time on Facebook Live. Foundations of the Nations on Tuesdays at 10 o'clock a.m. Central, 11 o'clock Eastern, Facebook Live. Also, let me see where we at. Truth and Power Corner, Fridays at 5 o'clock p.m. Central, 6 o'clock Eastern. That's a blog talk radio show. That phone number is area code 563-999-3738. Join the conversation. And you got one. That is the Voices of New Africa, which is Sundays at 11:30 Central, 12:30 Central, 1:30 Eastern Time. Make sure y'all check us all out, support, connect with each other. Let's build, continue to grow, and man, take control of our community like that brother. The brother right there, he's just 33 years old, 33 years old, and he building and taking control of the community. What's your damn excuse? You ain't got one. Get off your ass. Let's get up and let's make it happen, y'all. Man, you got any last words you want to say to people before we get out of here?
Hey,
not last words, but final thoughts.
I know as a people we can win. We got to come together, bring our team together, put our resources together, figure out how we can put ourselves in a position of positivity. grow, expand, do what we need to do for each other, for ourselves, for our families. Hey man, we all we got. Let's come together. We done tried everything else. Let's try working together. So free the land. All power to the people. And I enjoy talking with you brothers, man. I can't wait to come out and build with you. Can't wait to see your brother on the other side of that wall. And hey man, we here and let's keep going, brother. Keep doing what y'all doing.
Damn right, damn right. Like our comrade said, we don't try everything. We tried hating on each other, fighting each other, cussing each other out, talking bad about each other's mama. Let's try building and working together. I'm proud of Comrade Atiba, our special guest, Atajwe Atajwe.
That's right. That's right.
I'm gonna get it down perfect. Next time you see it, I'm gonna be flowing it like, you know, a second language. But for all the comrades, all us nation building, for all of y'all for tuning in, thank you for the comments, for the knowledge that y'all share, because the conversation between the audience be better than, you know, the conversation between us half the time. But join us again next week. We love y'all. Free the land, free the land, free the land.
Got conversations about life, got conversations about death, got conversations about building a nation, about gaining knowledge of